Hey, hey, hey! Hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. Today's topic, we will be talking about relationships and what not to do when somebody, engages in an argument with you or there's a disagreement. Relationship is such a big part of who we are and how we operate, and honing in onto getting better relationships with others improves our overall well-being, the way we parent, the way we show up in the world. And so, talking about relationships is a huge part in wellness, I believe. And something came up this week in our lives, and we just wanted to bring it up here on how we were able to handle a certain situation. So I'm just waiting for Maya to hop on. Let's see. There she is. Give us 1 second.
Hi.
Hey. So we'll just go dive deep into it. So the topic is dealing with difficult relationships and the things not to do. So this will help you with how to communicate better, how to have better boundaries and self-respect, and pretty much modeling how you want to be treated to others, right? And it's never too late. If somebody's treating you a certain way, something that I read earlier this week, it talked about it's a reflection of how you've taught them to treat you, right? So it's giving permission in the past, because you were maybe unconscious before on that you do have the power to change the way you feel. And when you change the way you feel, it changes the way people behave to you, and it's such a beautiful process that you get to play doing this work. So something that came up, it was a situation with a person that could have went so many different directions, right? And this happened to me, but what I was able to do was, in that situation, when that frustration and the anger and the, like, what the hell, I'm trying to do all this, everything right, and still like, dealing with this, this person, and this situation keeps on recurring. And I got to have a quick coaching session with Maya.
Can I interrupt just for? Yeah. Can I interrupt for just a second? I think this is important. So it was a situation where Michaela was asking for help, and the person that she was asking for help from kind of attacked her, and that is when you can continue. But that is basically, like, just to keep it super simple, is that what happened? And when you're kind of attacked in a negative way,
right? It's I'm an empath. Sure. I'm sure a lot of women in this group are empaths. Maya's an empath. And what is an empath? It's a person that feels deeply, right? And is affected by other people's emotions, how they treat you, and things like that. And so the person that I was dealing with is not an empath at all. And in fact, this person is a narcissist, right? So it's such a difficult road, right? To keep, not difficult. It's you have to be mindful of other people's energies, and every day, that they're not your own. And unless you really honor and cherish, and are inspired by somebody, then they shouldn't influence your energy. Anyway, side note.
Right.
So, dealing with, for example, like narcissists and people who don't see your point of view in your way, and let's say you do engage in a conversation and it doesn't go as lightly as you think it does. So I was able to talk to Maya, and there was a few things that happened. Just talking about it right away without replying back to the person allowed me to process my emotions, right? So just being heard and actually hearing yourself, there's a certain process that happens that, yes, it's, the situation is bad, but this is not the worst thing in the world. Like, my kid is healthy. Like there's so many other good things happening, but just, so talking about it is number one that helps. So I was able to structure it in a way where she explained that this is not my stuff, that this is the person's stuff, and that the quote that you used was, do not choose to be right, choose to be happy.
Right. Right. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
Right. And
super simple, but so powerful.
Yes.
So from this situation, we kind of came up with sort of some rules of engagement of what not to do when you're dealing with a difficult person. And this could be this could be a that you live with, it could be your family, it could be someone you work with, it could be someone, you know, it could be the cashier at Target, it could be anyone that you interact with that can easily kind of suck your energy. And so the first thing that we came up with was don't get sucked in to someone else's story, which is basically their energy, but they're replaying this negative story of that they're always right, or that you know, that they look down at you, or they're better than you, or whatever their ego is basically telling. So don't get sucked into that. And so that kind of segues into don't engage. So that was my biggest piece of advice when I was talking to Michaela, because she, you know, she felt attacked and she wanted to attack back and make that person feel just as crappy as.
But of course, I was right. You know,
right.
I was right.
Right. So that's this instinct, and I don't know that it's like naturally. Well, I mean, maybe long ago it was like a good instinct to want to like attack back if you're being attacked, but like we're safe, you know, we're in a relatively safe society right now, so it's actually not that helpful a lot of the times. So like to engage is just playing into the story, because especially when you're dealing with a narcissist, that narcissist is always gonna be way meaner than an empath. Always.
Yeah.
Always. They will always win whatever the hell that looks like. So anyway, number 2,
like
don't engage.
Feeding fuel into a fire, you know, like just feeding them.
Yes.
You know,
they love it. They like get energy from it, and then it depletes. Like I know for me, because I have dealt with a narcissist in my life as well, and I know from my engagement in the past that it sucks. It could, like, if I engaged, it would suck the life out of me for days, and then beating myself up on actually.
You're replaying this certain story, and it brings you back to the past and why you're right. And it's
right.
You know, also going way, you know, far away from our belief system, like how we're actually meant to feel. You know, it's literally taking you deep into the ego, and it's the ego talking, or you know, how Melissa Ambrosini says, like the mean girl, like whatever you want to call that inner voice that is like feeding, egging you on, you know, is not the right voice to listen to, because we are designed, and we should be living in a peaceful state, you know, and that's ultimately, that's where true like happiness comes from. So not engaging. What happened was, with that, I didn't engage. I left it alone, and you know, even looking at the text from 10 minutes from that point, I felt a sense of relief that I didn't engage, and I knew that the person felt guilty for saying the things they said.
Rena.
Hi, girls. Hi, Rena. So I know the person felt guilty because I'm an empath, so I know. And you're, you know, it's no matter how bad of a person you are, if like, let's say the other person is super mean and is trying to get the point across, thinking you're going to reply back and feed them a little bit more. If you don't reply, it really, they're doing it. You know, this person
so powerful.
Yeah. So it happened maybe around, I don't know, 11 a.m. By 3 p.m. Mind you, in the meantime, I cooked. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is. Because after talking about it and just like not engaging, I kind of just went along my way. And with the words with my essay, just choose happiness, I kept saying, you know what? I just choose happiness. And just that thought just allowed me to go away from the other end, right? So,
and that allows you to not, so our third thing that we wanted to talk about is not going into your old story. So it's not following into that other person's story that's like attacking you or affecting you in a negative way, but it's also not going into your old story. So, you know, in this particular situation, and in a lot of the situations that we come across, it's with a person that you have a history with, right? And so you have followed these patterns of how you interact. And so, you know, you go into that place of like, I'm being attacked, I need to stand up for myself. But actually, like, when is in this situation, like, you standing up for yourself, what wouldn't have gotten you, or would have made it way worse. So you're like, it's trying to kind of reprogram and not follow your old story, and how the two people have historically interacted, and knowing that it's in your power to shift that you're actually in charge of it.
So this person didn't have control of my emotions. It was up to me on how I was going to react to it, right? So what happened was by 3 p.m. I received a text. Mind you, another little thing that I did. I'm always, you know, we're on our phone a lot talking to you ladies and to everyone. And so, like, I literally deleted the text message. Even though it had pictures and threads in it, I deleted it. I said, it does not deserve to keep this energy in my phone. And I just deleted it. So by 3 p.m. I received a text message saying, I'm so sorry, you're the last person that needs to be talked to like that. And it was some other things, and it's like, how can I help you? Well, like, because it was a situation I was asking for some support. And by then I was just like, you know, we literally talked it out, and it turned out to be a funny conversation somehow. But I was just like, wow, it's like such power in not engaging in these negative conversations. And this could be any type of conversation. It could be gossip. It can be
with your children.
Right.
It could be, you know, of engage. Like, I noticed the other night with my daughter, she's in this habit of wanting me to tuck her in 2-3 times at night. She's 9. And instead of engaging in it, I said, all right, you want me to I'm going to tuck you in once, and it'll be when I'm ready for bed. So I just, like, I swapped it, because before the previous night it had been banter of going back and forth, and me getting kind of sucked into her, like, having kind of a hard time. And so it was almost like a negotiation. So it was also not getting sucked into, like, our historical banter, you know?
Right.
And it went way better.
It would have also been feeding her attention, right? Like, for you.
Yes.
So it's not it's not a positive pattern. So we are in control of breaking these patterns, and again, on how people treat us. And it takes place in the present moment. When these things happen, you have to be very mindful of it, you know, and you have to be able to vent it out, not to this person. That's, you have to have that.
Don't understand.
Space. You know what? If you need to, pop us, you know, give us a comment, personally message us, and just share with us, like, this person, you know, just to get it off your mind, just to get that lid off, is super healing, because you'll be able to get that one word of advice, that the silliest, you know, quote to say, don't choose to be right, choose to be happy, can stick with you and just completely transform your day, could transform your week, transform your month, your year, and so on, you know. And you just continually have to do this work, you know, repeating this work. It comes up in different situations, but anyway, this is what came up for us, and you know, we wanted to share these tips with you of what not to do in circumstances.
And we have so many tips on what you can do in relationships, but in this situation, it was very apparent what not to do, so that you can just move forward. So if you need any help with your tips and boundaries.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. You can go.
No, that was it. That was, you know, hope it inspires you to stand up for yourself quietly.
You can change the patterns. And if you do want to work on changing the patterns in your relationships, definitely reach out. We have tons of tools to help you turn that around.
Right.
And it's not too late. You don't want to wait. You want to take care of it now, because all of that negative energy in these relationships and patterns it's like a spiral effect, and it can affect your health, it affects your relationships, it can affect your children. It's all of this modeling. So you are in charge of what your life and your relationships look like.
Right.
So
and that goes with
reach out
with yourself as well. That is our number one relationship, is with yourself, and how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, what you think you're worth. All of that stuff is that conversation you have within yourself constantly. It's what you wake up with. That's
right.
what we have, and we do the work that we do is to constantly rewrite the story in our mind on what we are worth, what the things that we want, and how we want to feel, so we all have that power inside. So yeah, that's love it. Grateful for you all, everyone.
Thanks for watching, and let us know if you need help with your relationships with people around you or yourself. Definitely reach out. We can schedule a free coaching call and help you figure out what's going on, what's not working, where you want to go, and help you make a plan. It's free and it can't hurt. It actually can only help, and you should.
It's the best 45 minutes.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Don't live a life of regret and living years of negative energy. It's just not worth it.
Not worth it.
You don't deserve it.
It's not fun. It's meant to be fun.
No. Been there, Matt.
Peace out.
All right.
Much love.
Bye, ladies.